right, thank you for watching. I'm here with CAC. We got our
Yep.
we got our Iron Lion
Representing
gear.
right there, representing. Yep.
Yeah.
Looks
That's-
real nice with burgundy for sure.
Yeah, I know. Caroline
Oh, yeah.
pointed or picked that out. I was like, "What color should I get?"
Yeah.
I'm always like, "Just pick black. Just
I'm a
pick
little
black."
jealous. Yeah, the
Yeah.
first time I picked black, I was like, all right, black is no common, most color. And then next thing you know, I saw yours come in, and I'm like, dang, I should have got burgundy.
Yeah, yeah. No, that was definitely a good call. And
Yep.
where can we get this merchandise?
Oh yeah, definitely. You can let me know. Hit me up. We'll get you a shirt. It's $27. You know, a shirt, any color, any size. We got you. So just let us know.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, let them know on social media.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
You can hit me up on Facebook. You can look me up to the Iron Lion. I got my own page too. You can follow me. So yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, we'll definitely tag that. That'll be good. So you got any people, places, or upcoming events that you like to shout out?
I mean, right now we just got that Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu match up in Omaha. I think it's like August 8th. I mean 28th. So that'll be something nice to be able to go to. I mean, it's been a while since we've done a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu since before my last match. So
Right.
yeah. So yeah, definitely. I mean, just staying busy. I mean, yeah, grinding.
Yeah, no, that'll be good.
Yeah.
Grappling tournament. Is that one submission only, or is that points, or do you know?
No, this one will be both. So,
Okay.
Yep, points and submission versus the other one that they last had. I think it was like the 5th, July 5th or something. That one was definitely point based. So
Mm-hmm.
yep, a little more different ball game there. So.
Do you have a preference?
I definitely like submission just because. You know, you could be losing like one of my matches. That, for example, like this guy was beating me, kicking my ass for. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I don't know why he was like good at just staying on top. So I was like, all right, I don't know. Like, you know, you could tell he was a wrestler because I'm not much of a wrestler. But within like 15 seconds left, he was beating me by 30 points. Within 15 seconds left, I got that rear naked chokehold on him, and then got him to tap out right there. I was like, yep.
Yeah, that is
Yep.
great. A lot of times, you know, it's. You know, who wants it more,
Oh, yeah.
or endurance is a huge one. Or,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep, definitely.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
Yeah, for sure. All right. So will you tell us a little bit about your yourself and your background and athletic background?
Oh yeah, definitely. So you know, I was born in Sudan, South Sudan to be precise. Grew up there for about 5 years, lived there, and then moved to Egypt for 4 years. Came to States and didn't speak English. English is actually my third language, so I had to really learn everything from scratch, pretty much. Yeah, I remember it was some challenging times at schools, but or in school and whatnot growing up. But as far as sports goes, I started off. I mean, I always liked soccer when I was younger. That's all we ever played back home. I remember too. You know, not having necessarily. That, you know, having access to soccer balls like we do here,
Mm-hmm.
and we take that for granted once in a while. But you know, just kick around rocks sometimes just for the sake of it, and take a bunch of socks in one sock and then play around as a soccer ball. I remember because that meant everything to us.
Yeah.
It was huge to us. I mean, sometimes you just gotta, you know, do what life. I mean, ultimately, whatever life gives you in circumstances, you go with it. Like you said, it's how bad you want it sometimes, and for us growing up, you know, whatever we had, that's how bad we wanted it to be the next Ronaldinho.
Yeah.
Ronaldo. But so no, soccer was huge for me, and then I ended up falling in love with basketball. Once I got here, you know, in elementary, and then over time I played basketball for a while, but then in the process, running was always my thing. Did cross country track throughout high school, college year. I went senior year. I did cross country and track. As far as like the martial arts aspect of things go, like the fighting, I always wanted to be a fighter since I was younger. But my father was always worried because I used to, you know, enjoy going out and picking fights with the older kids.
Yeah.
And I was always like, say something about my mom, and you know, that's what we always used. Pop someone in the mouth, and you're like, okay, but
those are fighting words.
oh yeah, fighting words. That's about it.
Yeah.
Yep, definitely. So, but you learn from those. But now it's, you know, about being a professional fighter, really taking it to the next level. There's different levels. When people say there are different levels to this game, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no joke.
So you did track and field in college as well. You said.
Yep. I ran for Wayne State College.
Nice.
Did cross country, indoor track, and outdoor track. So I got some videos up for sure. I mean, y'all can go check it out for sure. But I mean, yeah, definitely. I would say I'm an athlete all around.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So then, do you remember what made you want to be a fighter? You said you always have, or like, I guess, yeah, you know what I mean. Or did you see like a certain fight or fighter?
Yep. Yeah. No. Definitely. So for me, I didn't really know much about MMA itself. It was more like martial arts. So more um, doing like karate and doing more of I'd say like kickboxing ish. Not really wasn't much into boxing. Didn't know much about boxing. Didn't know much about MMA. I mean, at first I was like, okay, MMA, like what is that? And kind of got into it just by watching people. But then over time, obviously, I ended up liking Adesanya. That was definitely my guy, or it still is my guy that I
For
follow
sure.
regardless. So yeah, because I like his style for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think that he's the biggest superstar in the UFC that's like actually a champion or in title contention? Like probably take Connor out of it since he's pretty much not right now.
I mean,
You think he's the biggest star?
given the circumstance, I mean, if he actually uses or utilizes his ground game, which I mean, I've seen some videos of his. He's actually cold. I think that would really help him become unstoppable ultimately, because I know that kickboxing, he brings that that background of kickboxing ultimately, and I like how he mixes things up. Now you can kind of see on the last fight, he was able to mix things up some more, and I mean, yeah, he did a lot of ground defense, but I'd like to see him do some offense because, I mean, but other than that, I mean, I think he would definitely, I think, in my opinion, yeah, he would be unstoppable in all aspects of things. Whoever he comes across for most of it, I know some people have their own opinion on the first loss he took, but the way I see it is that, the guy really just won by laying there on him, on top of him, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But it happens. I mean,
Yeah.
it gets the best of us. That's how some matches are lost and won.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you gotta win somehow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. No, you're good.
Oh yeah. So you're looking pretty jacked right now. Do you lift weights now?
I started
Or
lifting
strength and
actually.
conditioning?
So, yep, I started lifting. I didn't realize how much it means to actually lift. A lot of times in the past, it was more of trying to just rely on just the workouts at hand that we would do, and not just body calisthenic type of workouts. I mean, those are awesome and great, but at some point to a degree, you want to put some power behind your shots. You want to get in there and get comfortable for sure. So
Yeah.
so I've been lifting. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Doing a lot of various different workouts. So
Yeah.
yes.
Do you or is there like do you follow like a certain diet or anything to like stay pretty lean, or have you always been pretty lean?
I would say for most of it, I've been staying pretty lean. As far as when it comes to diet, when I start to, whether if it's track, cross country, whatever the case may be, now in fighting, a lot of it is I rely on my cultural foods because we don't have, they're not processed, and most of the ingredients we get are basic, simple ingredients that you can get, obtain, um, and so I'll stick to that diet a lot of the times. And I mean, obviously, no matter what the food is, you don't want to eat too much of it because anything even good, too much of could be bad. So you just gotta eat. And then honestly, I never really was the one to be like, oh, I need to watch my weight. Like, this is where I'm at. And so it just kind of like like as I get closer, yes, you want to take more water intake and really focus on that. And obviously, you want to check your weight to kind of have an idea of like what you mainly is. But as far as like losing weight before a fight, for most of it, you just come to realize you don't have to, like, for some people you don't change your diet. So for me, it's one of those that I don't change necessarily the way I eat too much. All I do is just pretty much just make sure that I'm eating more cultural foods and avoiding fast foods. That's for sure. So
Yeah.
those get you real quick.
Right. Do you have like a favorite kind of like, you said cultural food, right?
Yes.
Okay, do you have a favorite like dish or like one that you like, or like a staple, for you?
I would say we call it like, even so it's dama, like that's a name for it in Arabic. but in Dinka, I mean, in Arabic, same difference. We call them malah, but it's ultimately mine is basic. So I like dama. Dama is gonna be your chicken soup type of, it's chicken soup made or homemade chicken soup, traditional, and so you'll get typically chicken and then have like whatever the spices might be and. As far as it goes, tomato paste, yeah, you might, and so honestly, you're not really finding anything like high in cholesterols as long as you don't overdo it with the tomato
Right.
paste. But and then other than that, seasonings. I mean, it's seasoning. You know what I mean?
Right.
I doubt you're gonna gain crazy weight from it.
Right.
So, and other than that, yeah, you want to watch your bread intake if you're gonna take. I mean, if you're gonna eat.
Is
bread.
that included in your cultural?
It is bread and rice, but a lot of it is
Mhm.
rice. Rice is most of the time eaten with a lot of cultural foods.
Any
Because
specific kind or?
in terms of rice,
Yeah.
a lot of times we avoid. I mean, I think we do jasmine rice. That's really
Okay.
what we lean more towards.
Mhm.
So kind of like white rice. I know a lot of people say, brown rice is healthier, not necessarily, but I mean, we do white rice, and then you don't eat too much of it.
Right.
You sit down, eat one portion, and uh, ultimately, there was always that saying that you want to add water afterwards, so then that way you can kind of fill your stomach, because all it is pretty much your body just wants something small for the energy, and then
Yeah.
whether you're gonna go work out, whether if it's the energy to just work, whatever the case may be, and then have water with it. So,
Right.
excuse me.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's good. Yeah, no, I just started a dieting plan,
Yeah.
and it includes like all jasmine rice too.
Yeah.
And I think it's just because like it's not bleached or
Yeah.
enriched or
Okay.
whatever like that.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, I definitely do think that that's good stuff.
I mean, there's this thought too that with jasmine rice too, or just white rice in general, it soaks up some of your water too. So you gotta. I
Mhm.
mean, it's good. I think as far as like with staying lean and everything, yeah, you want to eat chicken. You want to stick more to that diet. Avoid beef because that's harder for your stomach to process. So you avoid a lot of that for sure. I mean, yeah, you want to eat more fruits, vegetables. Um, so that
Mhm.
gives you all the sorts of energy you need. And a lot of people will say, don't drink milk. You don't need milk, but I think you do because you don't want to end up like Conor McGregor,
Right.
or end up like Anderson
Yeah.
Silva.
Yeah.
For those that follow him, you
Yeah.
know what that means.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. So you don't want no weak bones. You end up kicking someone with a hard shin, and
Yeah.
yep, that's what happens a lot of times. But Conor McGregor, I mean, his circumstances is a little different.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, but yeah, no.
Yeah, I know. Milk's always been big for me too. Not right this second,
Yeah.
but like in general for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So you got any future plans like MMA or just in general or?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I mean, I'm always gonna have a job just to have a job for now. I mean, you make it big. I mean, a lot of people always think, you make it big. You gotta live ultimately, remain living the way you live. In my opinion, I mean, yeah, can you, spoil yourself a little bit? Yeah, spoil your
Mhm.
family a little bit, but don't go overboard. Don't be that person that or that athlete that gets rich overnight, for example. Signing $1 million contract.
Yeah.
Goes and spends it, it's like winning lottery. You don't want to go and spend it because that's not the purpose. I mean, concept behind it.
Right.
That's not how you stay rich. But
Then gets
so no.
hurt or something like that.
And then get hurt.
Oh, no more money.
No more money.
Yeah.
Your wife left you.
Dang
Your
it.
dog is like barking at you.
Yeah.
Like you don't even recognize me.
Just yeah. Your dog thinks
Oh,
you're
yeah.
broke.
I
So you're
know.
like,
Your dog said, we ain't eating today. I can't call you master no more. Somebody try to come and harm you. Dog is like, nope,
Mhm.
I'm out.
Yeah.
But no,
He's at the neighbors.
yeah, no, you don't want that. But for me, yeah, no, I'm always gonna stay working. So some type of job always. You gotta learn to stay humble ourselves, and a lot of it is, once that's taken care of. I mean, as far as MMA future goals, yeah, I mean, yeah, I want to make a possible, career out of it too. I mean,
Mhm.
based upon how it goes, but at the same time, I know everybody wants to be a fighter, nowadays, and see a lot of people posting videos and
Mhm.
whatnot. But I just, I appreciate the fans that I'm, that come and support me, the
Mhm.
fan base that so far I've been able to. I mean, I had over 160 people come like live to come watch me, and then I had like 60 other people, from their homes with their families watching. So
That's
that was
big.
huge. I mean, that's big. I
Yeah.
mean, the beauty of it is win or lose. For most of my fans as of right now, at least that I can speak for myself is, they are with me. They let me know,
Yeah.
like, we'll be there for you for sure. And then they keep multiplying. You know what I mean? So they
Mhm.
come and watch, and I mean, sometimes they see. I mean, they probably seen all the potential, that I have and everything, and I appreciate them for that for sure. And I'm gonna keep grinding. I'm gonna keep putting in work, and just ultimately, find that switch to definitely take care of business when I'm in the ring. So.
Oh yeah, you said that you have a certain switch you gotta turn on. Is there
Yeah.
like a certain way that you've been able to turn it on in the past, or it just?
I mean, a lot of it in the past. I mean, being younger is just really just having a reason. I mean, a dumb reason could be as simple as, like I said, people joke all the time, but it's true. I mean, people always want a reason to really get into fighting sometimes, or sometimes you just do it. But I mean, in the past, it was more of really just for the family and
Mhm.
really thinking about it. And I mean, yeah, it still remains for the family and everything. But now ultimately, my goals switch, and it's going to be more on, my faith, letting my faith ultimately guide me, and really just, tear up in the ring ultimately. And it's nothing personal, but
Right.
At the
Yeah.
end of the day, it's, yeah, it's not like, yeah, it's nothing personal, honestly, and it won't be. And so, um, on the next fight, that's definitely gonna be the goal, is go in there and just, let go and let loose, and
Yeah.
let the Iron Lion down.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
That's right.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I definitely can't wait. I know a lot of people can't. Do you know, or do you have an idea when would you like it to be?
Well, I would definitely, if I can do end of September, that would be the goal. I
Mhm.
mean, but there's never telling sometimes with the fights arrangements and everything. I mean, you can arrange it months in advance, and then the other fighter backs out.
Opponents, yeah.
The opponent will back
Something
out, and so if
happens.
something happens, someone gets hurt in the process,
Mhm.
beforehand, or the day of, they make up their mind.
Weigh-ins. They're like, oh, I'm good.
That too, or they don't
Right.
make the weight cut. So.
Oh yeah.
So it's kind of
That's
like
huge.
you just kind of wait it out, but for most of it, you don't really. I mean, and that's why you try to get set up with the good solid fighters that are gonna keep their word ultimately, and good fighters know to keep their health in check as much as possible. Everything that's
They're serious about it.
and
Yeah.
they're definitely gonna look forward to seeing what you can do and what they can do. So.
Right.
Yep. So that's just the mentality. But if it doesn't happen for a reason, end of September, then I'll look to see the next fight, and then definitely go out there and let my fans enjoy themselves. Definitely let them know, like, why I'm the Iron Lion and why they come to watch. So.
Right.
Yep. Definitely.
I think in September there's a bare knuckle boxing card if you want to hop on.
Oh yeah, the bare knuckle.
Would you ever do that? Or?
I mean, I thought about it. I was like, how would it be with bare knuckle? But then I was like, I don't know, because I'm like, just think about it. I mean, it's for me. Like, I kind of like, I've been kind of like both sides, like thinking about it. Like, I'm low key. I mean, I'm like, can I do bare knuckle? Should I do bare knuckle? But then I'm like, should I not? Probably, because I mean, there's pros and cons, and I mean, it's more definitely serious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, would you be interested in regular boxing?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
For sure.
I actually started doing some boxing too, just in general, because I really
Nice.
needed to work the hands at work. And then we all got things to do, and I mean, things to work on ultimately. But yeah, so no, definitely the regular boxing would be something that I would be definitely interested in. And hopefully in the near future I can get a few of those in, and because they still help you at the end of the day.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like
definitely.
any competition experience, that like
yeah.
through. Oh, you think that helps you, like, right? Like,
Yep.
well, especially like in, track and field and cross country
Yep.
and stuff. Like, it is just you out there. Like they're watching you. They're like, yeah.
Oh yeah.
So that probably helps in the
That is
cage,
true.
right?
No, it definitely
Yeah,
does.
like you're the man in the arena or whatever.
But you're not wrong, because quick funny story is one of the competitions I went to for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, especially my first one actually. In fact, it was my first one I went to. These guys were trying to figure out who is this guy, because he doesn't come from a gym we know, or a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu gym we know. So we want to know who this guy is, right?
Mhm.
And I had no idea, because I was so zoned in. I had cut, I had cut 12 pounds within an hour and a half. Yeah, 12
What?
pounds. Yep. So I'm zoned in. I'm just like focused. I'm
Mhm.
like I just want to go in there and just kill it. And so, and I had like 4 guys to face, and every time you win, you obviously got to keep going back to back, and
Mhm.
it kind of sucks. But anyway, I'm focused. I'm zoned in, and the next thing you know, some of my teammates come up to me and they're like, "Hey," they're like, "You'll be fine in there." I was like, "Yeah, I know." I was like, "Why you say that?" They're like, "Well, because we overheard these guys right here talking about you and looking you up, and
They're worried.
Like, they're worried because they're like, yeah, this guy, he's he fights MMA, so yeah, there's that
Yeah.
intimidation that comes
Mhm.
into play because you look at Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu fighters. Some of, ultimately I should say fighter, but you look at Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu practitioners per se. They don't practice it because they want to be violent, and sometimes MMA is seen as a violent sport. Unfortunately, that's just the stigma it has. Um, yeah, so they worry. They're like, this guy's very aggressive, and the crazy part is I just went in there and I was relaxed because you want to do opposite completely in Brazilian
Right.
Jiu-Jitsu. You're not in there being aggressive. I mean, should you be aggressive in the real fight too? No, not necessarily, but you want to be in there. I mean, with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, just relax. And so I just went in there, handled my business, handled my thing. And the next time they saw me, then they started becoming my friend on the next go. And so, I mean, I'll see those guys around because they're in my weight class. So,
right.
Yep.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, there's definitely a difference there. And yeah, I mean, it definitely does mean something whenever like somebody says like, "Oh, he's an MMA fighter."
Oh, yeah.
Remember before I ever fought in MMA, one of like the early jiu-jitsu tournaments.
Yep.
All that my coach said was before I went out is he's a pretty good MMA fighter. I'm like, I don't feel that great. I don't feel that great about this. And it ended up like not being like a big deal or anything like that. But yeah, like, it does mean a little bit.
Oh yeah, it means a lot. I mean,
or a lot, yeah.
Yeah, to me at least, it's someone says, hey, he's an MMA fighter. Even at work, people usually say, don't mess with this guy, he's an MMA fighter.
Right.
You get some of those folks and they're just like, oh, dang, okay, that feels awesome. I mean, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we feel safe with you if we walk with you because you're an MMA fighter. I'm like, dang, I didn't say, I'm going to take on the whole world for you.
Right, yeah.
But okay.
Yeah.
So, but it really is different mentality too, though, because we know something a lot of folks don't know, and we are... and we have something a lot of folks don't have, and that is going to be ultimately, being able to remain calm in very difficult situations, and when someone's really coming at you, and most of the folks that you really come across on the street, in the street fights, hypothetically, they're really not going to know all of that, background, and if they really are better than you and they know a lot, then they wouldn't be fighting you to begin with. And if they are, then it means you're the one picking the fight.
Right.
Which you shouldn't be.
Yeah, you shouldn't have accepted. Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
Should have known this guy, he's calm with a purpose. I'm going to walk away. Dude, it's all right.
Yeah.
You the man.
Like, or real quick, so then you said you had to flip the switch, but then how, like, you do, like, basically remain calm in the cage as well, right? I mean, like, you have, like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, well,
bunch of rounds under your belt. So
oh, yeah.
You didn't, it's not like you gassed out or anything like that, but you have to unleash the demon, but...
Yes, it's the mentality. So for me, it's, when I say ultimately, have that light switch or turn the switch on, it's ultimately the ability to go from calm to remaining calm, however, but in the process, what it is that you want to act. Mm-hmm. So you want to be able to act in every single scenario. So what that means is that you have to realize and tell yourself, this guy could potentially hurt me, like seriously, while yes, you could seriously hurt him, you have to say it's okay. Because some folks, and like myself, for the longest, it was hard for me to hurt other people. Like, to just, like, if you come in at me and you want to fight me in a street fight, it's whatever, it's different, right? Because to me, I'm defending myself at that given point is a little different, and no ref is going to come and stop it. So it's a little different. But when you're in there, you really got to understand that this is real, and this guy is not a street fighter, and, he knows what he's doing, and you better know what you're doing, and you could seriously get hurt, because sometimes you might not find the ref necessarily to stop it right away, or you might get kicked to the head and you don't know how to block, whatever the case may be. So it's huge. So for me, though, it's not that I'm afraid to, get hit, get punched, all that stuff, but I think a lot of it was just, me trying to be nice ultimately and try to be more tactics of karate, taekwondo, all that stuff, but in reality, it's not even remotely the same. So turning on that switch for me will be just unleashing in a manner, but it's acting, I should say. So not so much unleashing, but it's the ability for me to act. That's what I am working on in terms of being in there, because everything else, you just gotta. I trust and believe in the way I practice, the things that I put in. So for me, it's okay to unleash, because ultimately this guy, yeah, I hate to say it, signed a waiver, and
Right.
so
Yeah.
vice versa, I signed a waiver.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
yep. So yeah, definitely no. So for me, it's one of those. Is gonna be that if some people it's gonna be trash talk. For me, it's not so much trash talk, but it's gonna be more of a I got you. You better watch out. I'm coming for you. The lion, the Iron Lion.
That's right. Yeah. End of
Yep.
September. Let's get it done.
Yep, definitely.
All right. Thanks
Yep,
a lot,
I
man.
appreciate you. So, yeah.